Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. I'm your host, Josh, and with me are my two co-hosts.
It's your boy, Chayse.
And it's your boy, Nick.
And we got a nice show for you people today. Going to talk about Mandalorian season finale of season 2. A lot of stuff happening. Going to discuss a lot of events that went on in season 2, so full-on spoilers for that. We're going to talk about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, the Netflix film starring Chadwick Boseman, his last performance. Going to discuss that. Going to discuss The Sound of Metal, the Amazon Prime film starring Riz Ahmed. Very, very interesting film. Going to discuss that. Also going to throw out some news topics today. You know, not big on news today. Not like last week where we got that Disney serotonin overdose. So just some light stuff. Going to talk about Tom Cruise bringing out his Les Grossman. Going to talk about Sony and Cyberpunk, and we're going to talk about some other video game stuff real quick. Smash Brothers in particular. Sephiroth coming there. I don't think we discussed that last week. I don't think. Big news came out.
I was withholding myself from
you were just
bringing it up. Yeah.
Oh, you just had to calm yourself down before we're talking about it a little.
Yeah, there was a lot of serotonin that day, and he was a part of it. But I knew you guys didn't give a shit, so I tried to keep it to myself.
No, I can't. I mean, I play Smash, and I mean, I like Sephiroth as a character. I mean,
okay.
You know, I mean, when you talk about somebody who's living literally rent free in somebody's head, I mean, that's the perfect description with Sephiroth and Cloud. I mean, I mean, that dude is literally living rent free in his head. I mean, he's just haunted by that dude. So I'm excited. I was watching a gameplay breakdown of him. And he seemed like a really cheap character. I mean, like, he seems really, really tough.
He's good.
So,
and I think there's enough of a skill gap for a lot of how you use him. Because I can't see too many moves of his being like the spam kill moves that you got with like Hero and like Byleth and stuff like that. You don't think his edge guard ability, like with the long sword and the way he can poke, you can maneuver around that. And
I mean,
like while I was
depends
using
on what type of character. Depends on what type of character you go up against him with. Though.
True. Like obviously, like say like a Mario is at a full disadvantage, but still, there's ways to like maneuver around him. I think he adds something interesting to the meta, and I also think that just the idea of literally everywhere Cloud goes, whether it be any game, no matter like I think he was in Soul Calibur, he was in obviously Kingdom Hearts. No matter where he goes, Sephiroth follows. So that's funny to me. You can't even hang out with Mickey Mouse without the dude popping up out of nowhere.
So did you play some of them or no?
Yeah. So I actually just beat the challenge last night. It took a while because I was doing the very hard mode. Did you try that out yet?
No, I haven't.
It's a lot of fun, but expect to lose. Like the first 10 minutes or so, I couldn't even make it past I couldn't even get to the chorus of his song. where they started doing the Latin chanting and then say his name at the end. I couldn't even hear that because I was getting my ass beat on very hard mode. But I got very lucky in the last time I fought him, and I got a spike off on him. And it was only 29 seconds, but it took at least maybe 40 minutes for me to beat him on very hard mode.
Wow.
So yeah.
Don't you main Persona? Don't you in
Joker?
In
yeah.
Smash, don't you? Yeah, Joker. Yeah.
Yeah, I beat him with Joker.
That cheap ass character too.
Yeah, I tried to beat him with Cloud, but I'm not that good with Cloud on Smash, so it was hard to fulfill the story destiny because I kept getting my ass beat. So if you could beat him with Cloud, I commend you. But his like Cloud's just not that good on Smash in my opinion.
I mean, depends on how you use him. I like to use Cloud. He's my kind of my second main in Smash, behind Kirby. And you know, depending on how you use him, you know, he can be. But yeah, he has his limitations of what he can do. But he's a very easy character to pick up.
Just don't get in the air.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cheap things he can do, like Sephiroth. He can stab through platforms. His speed is ridiculous. Like his speed. The length of his sword is crazy. Like they showed a clip of like 3 Kirbys and he just like slashed through 3 Kirbys, like, you know, stuff like that. You know, and his projectile is really cool. You know, and then you can like projectile, then run up, grab a person, or run up and attack them, and they can't do anything about it. I mean, they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that shit is tough.
Yeah, so that makes it even extra cheap. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to playing him and playing against him, especially, you know, it's already tough enough being a Kirby main and trying to fight characters with swords, and look at this character with this gigantic sword. That's already tough enough. But
they disappointed me. They disappointed me with Kirby Roth though. I thought he was gonna have the sword. I thought that he was gonna have the sword. He doesn't.
He in the image I saw, I thought he had the sword. I thought in the picture.
I'm talking about Kirby Roth, not Sephiroth.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ultimate being, Kirby Roth.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like when like Kirby absorbed Sephiroth, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He doesn't have the sword.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
I thought in the pic. Oh.
Kirby Roth.
No, in this sword. Really?
Yeah, I played with Kirby Roth. I was very disappointed.
Oh, okay. Oh, dang. Oh, that's a shame.
They should have gave him the sword just for the memes.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like the super long one too, like the little body super long sword. Yeah, that would have been. Yeah. Oh, that's disappointing. Yeah,
that would have been just like the meme where you have little baby Kirby plushie holding that sword.
Oh yeah, and that would have been that would have been something.
Yeah,
but
he only gets the B ability, unfortunately. So he got like the explosive Faraga.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at that right now. Yeah, okay, I see that.
Which is cool, but like Kirby with a sword is what I need.
Yeah, the hair looks nice though. I like
yeah. He's flowing. He's flowing.
Yeah, definitely put some curl juice in that.
There's actually I think it was Crisis Core where there was like a weird throwaway line where they say like Sephiroth uses full like bottles of shampoo every time he hits the shower. Like he uses at least like 3 of them.
Well, you got to. I mean, with that hair, I mean, you got to.
Yeah.
With those luscious locks, I mean, how is there any like stat that says how long his hair is? Like,
I mean, he's like 6 foot, right? So his hair is.
I thought it was 7 foot.
He is. Well, I guess his hair's 7 feet tall, or 7 feet long. Yeah. He's Rapunzel on this bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean, yeah, got to use that mane and tail. Just whole bottles of mane and tail. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, when's the last time you? Is that the most recent time you hopped on Smash was with playing with Sephiroth?
Yeah, I mean, I hopped on a couple days ago just to refresh myself because I just haven't really played it. Ever since I left the house where I was still in college, I haven't really been playing it too much because I don't really have too many people to play it with. So, you know, if I were to ever get like a full like Smash Bros online community together, then maybe I'd hop on it more. But like Sephiroth was basically the only reason I picked it back up, just to see if he's good, and also just because like I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy VII, so it was just nice to hear the music get remixed.
Yeah,
play the stage.
Yeah, the music was. Yeah, that stage was crazy. Like the stage going into the to like the volcano, and then that was a really nice stage. That was a really good stage. I liked that a lot. Yeah, and the music was really good too. The way they remixed it, that was really nice.
They put a lot of respect on the true final boss.
But I added you to that Facebook group where we was playing Smash.
Man, don't you know to stay the fuck off Facebook?
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, you're not on there like that, but yeah. But a lot of us are gonna probably play it again because of Sephiroth and everything like that. So probably, yeah, I'll hit you up if we ever do something like that. Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, Nick's like I don't fucking play Smash. I don't give a fuck what y'all
fucking
talking
nerds.
I don't fucking play that shit.
How you gonna
women to sleep with?
Bro, how you gonna be in Japan and not play Smash Bros? That's something. You don't have a Switch?
No, I do not have a Switch actually.
That's crazy.
Wow, come on, man. Wow, you gotta get a Switch, man.
Hey,
That's
Switch
crazy.
Switch is some weeaboo shit out here, and girls ain't into that.
Really? A lot of girls like, you know, like a lot of girls like Mario Kart, don't they? They like following the road rules and shit, stopping at red lights and shit like that, don't they? You know, in Mario Kart, shit like that.
I don't see any.
like when,
I don't see any lights in Mario Kart, dog. I think it's just go.
You know, this is like when they play Grand Theft Auto, they follow the traffic rules and shit, they stop at the red lights, turn, I
did get so bored in quarantine that I did actually do that when I played GTA 5.
This is just to prolong the missions.
Yeah, that's how you know you're really bored.
Just to remember the feeling of driving.
Yeah,
that's how you know you're really bored. And like I tried driving in Cyberpunk. I don't know if it's just me or if it's just a game, but I don't remember being that ass at driving in a video game. I don't remember that.
Oh man,
because it's been a while since I drove in a video. I'm like, I think it's that game. I think it's just messed up. I think.
So alright, so you know what's funny? I had to actually pick up my controller and connect it to my PC for driving, because driving on the keyboard is literally impossible. That shit is so trash. So the controls are, basically just the arrow keys. So you're like mashing that button, right? And you're just going like 1,000 miles per hour nonstop. You have to hit the brake like, literally every 2 seconds so you don't run over somebody. Because I actually might post this on my YouTube channel where I played I recorded myself playing like the first 30 minutes, and literally as a nomad you start off in a car, and the second I drove out I hit somebody and there was a police chase.
Yeah.
This shit is impossible.
Yeah, like when I hit people in GTA, I wanted to hit people in GTA. You know what I mean? This game, I just do it just
GTA,
because.
You meant to hit them. Or sometimes accidents happen. You going too fast and you hit the handbrake, and you sideswipe some dude on the sidewalk. So shit happens.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Just because that's just the mechanics of driving in Cyberpunk, apparently. There's a billion people on the sidewalk, and for whatever reason, they just will not give you control of the car.
It's like you're fighting you're fighting your
COVID-19 logic. It's my body, my choice. If I want to get hit by a car, I'll get hit by a car.
Yeah, and that's another thing. They do a piss poor job of getting out of the way in that game. I just remember
what about my rights?
I was supposed to save some people in this one shootout mission for the police or whatever, and I only did it for the money, but because fuck the police. But anyway, the AI would not get out of my way, so I ended up shooting them by accident, and well, it is what it is. I took their money too. But the AI is dumb.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things to just kind of laugh about it is the bugs compilation.
Yeah.
Going on YouTube, watching all the different bugs that people run into. That's one thing, seeing one bug where a guy's trying to go through a window and he just gets teleported all the way back to the other side of the map or something like that. Or you're on a motorcycle for some reason, then all of a sudden you stand up on the motorcycle doing a handstand naked with no pants on. Just weird shit, just buggy shit like that. Like you're driving a car.
That's how you do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you in Jackass, I mean, yeah, sure.
I mean, I took one motorcycle safety class. I'm pretty sure that's how you ride one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so bad now that Sony pulled it from the PS Store. They just said screw it and pulled it from the PS Store. And people trying to get refunds. There's some people who say like they're able to get refunds, and then some people who say they haven't gotten a refund. So that isn't 100% sure. So if you did want a refund, that isn't like 100%. Like if you are gonna get one, but I mean, they didn't pull it from the store officially now. Because you're playing it on a nice PC, and I was watching one YouTuber who's like, LO Hounds, and he's like, well, I got a great PC setup, and I got probably a better PC setup than most people, and I still run into a lot of issues with it, a lot of frames dropping, everything like that. He was showing a whole compilation of himself playing it, and it was like, damn, I mean, wow. This has just been kind of
if a person with that nice a PC setup still can't play the game, then you done fucked up CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, I feel bad because like my experience so far has been great. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know. I just haven't really been running into that many problems, and I don't think my PC setup is that spectacular. But the bugs that I've run into are the fun bugs, like the sliced off arm dancing to the club music type of bugs. Nothing too drastic, unfortunately, but to my knowledge, the reason why they so the whole refund scandal was weird because like CD Projekt Red announced that you guys can get a refund if you're playing on like a Sony console, but they never talked to Sony about the refund. So Sony was like, nah, we're keeping our money. I don't know about you, but we're keeping our money. So I feel like that probably had a part in them pulling just the game in total. So they gotta figure out whatever the hell they're gonna do with the refund money.
So when CD Projekt Red said like we gonna give a refund, Sony went like, who is this we?
Yeah, we.
You speaking French now? Yeah, you speaking French now? Nani? Yeah.
Just like Nani the fuck?
Yeah, they really dropped the ball. They honestly, low key, this should have just been a PC exclusive
or next gen exclusive.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Josh, how's it running? Have you been playing it since we last talked about it?
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit. I haven't really run into any real big issues, anything like that. It's fine for me. I'm not that deep into it though. I'm only like a few hours into it, so I'm not that deep into it though. I've been doing some side missions and stuff like that, but
yeah, same.
So I mean, I haven't run into any real major issues. So nothing on my end, but I mean, I'm like I said, I'm still fresh into the game. So I haven't seen any like crazy things like people, like I've seen clips where people hit cars and they go all the way up in the air and they fly up in the air like when they bump into something, or like they'll fall through the like map and like just completely be in like no man's land. Like, I haven't seen anything like that. So yeah, but I mean also this kind of being, I was expecting more GTA, not more so Fallout, which was also another thing I was a little disappointed by. But yeah, I mean, I think this is something they definitely should have just probably just went like, we needed to wait till next year again. Yeah. And because it'd be better to have a game that's polished and late than a game that's late and unpolished and doo-doo. I mean, you know what I mean? Just doo-doo.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
better, I feel like this is a game that if they delayed it again, they'd have the initial reaction, God damn it, when are we going to get the game? But now seeing it with the amount of bugs it has, with all the performance issues it's having on the last gen consoles, I feel like they should have just delayed it again and worked out all the bugs.
Yeah. Yep, that would have been better. That would have been smart.
And probably treated their employees a little bit better because they made them crunch for this, and it's still very buggy.
Yeah.
So all that crunch for a bunch of bucks.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, another big news story coming out. Tom Cruise, just had his very big, Les Grossman moment, against a crew that weren't following COVID guidelines, and completely heated. You all probably have heard the audio already. If not, we're going to clip it in to the show. If we can, if we don't get straight down now. Don't want to get like one of those copyright strikes or anything like that. Because
don't want to piss off the
apparently they trying to send people. Yeah, they trying to send people to jail now for copyright strikes now. So they trying to work on that. So don't want to be in prison for.
If you see us drinking Fresca, you know what happened.
Yeah. Actually, and then Lee Remini.
If you see a bunch of ads
she
for
came
Fresca
out.
pop up during this show, then you know what happened.
And Lee Remini, she came out, and Lee Remini, she used to be a part of Scientology, and now she kind of, she's made a big coming out against it and written books about it and her experiences and how it's a bad thing and everything like that. And she said that that the rant was kind of staged. It was for public relations. That he's kind of got anger issues, period, you know what I mean, things like that. So I don't know. I don't know how much to buy into that, but just speaking, just about this situation and just from what we know so far about this whole situation and so many people not following guidelines, and people do things like that will wear a mask but they'll wear it below their nose, and that's just like you got the dick nose thing going on. It's like you might as well just not even have it on at that point.
Yeah.
You might as well just say fuck it, not even have it on at that point. But
because you're still breathing it.
Yeah, you're still breathing in. You know what I mean? Like you're still breathing it in. But yeah. But it was. On my list of celebrity rants, I don't know. It's not Mel Gibson. It's not Christian Bale on the set of Terminator. It's not Dennis Quaid on the set. Dennis Quaid was funny too. I like Dennis Quaid. That was up there too.
Yeah.
He called somebody Dopey the dickhead.
That's hard to beat.
He called somebody,
And plus, Tom Cruise be kind of stiff, so I don't think he has the comedic timing to pull any of those lines off.
Yeah, that's how you know when somebody's really mad and comes like this fucking Dopey the dickhead over here. In my fucking eye line, But I always laugh at Christian Bale's one. Like that one always gets me. I always listen to that just regularly. Yeah. Because I love.
You're gonna turn your fucking lights down. Turn out like this in the background.
Whenever you're in a bad mood, just look that up.
Yeah.
Nice little shot of serotonin.
It is legendary. In retrospect, it's even funnier because it was on the set of Terminator Salvation.
Yeah. He's over here thinking that this is gonna be like a full art movie, acting like it's like the next Oscar bait.
He just came from Batman, so I understand how he would think that.
Fair.
Yeah. It's just that one was really good. Yeah. So if anybody hasn't seen that, I recommend looking that up. Like it was funny. Like when he said like like here's this guy la da 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 in the fucking background, can't fucking focus on my shot, in my fucking eye line. Like Jesus Christ, like wow. I guess if you try and do something and you hear somebody, you see somebody in the corner of your eye doing something that is distracting.
Yeah, you're an actor, and supposedly that was one of the more dramatic scenes in the movie. And Christian Bale, he's already fucking insane. You don't lose like half your body weight and then gain it back in muscle over the course of like 2 years and not have a screw loose in your head.
Yeah. Plus, like being on set, those days are long. So I can understand not only just the pressure of it of the movie being on you, but also just the irritation of just like working 12 hours and potentially even more. So yeah, like I get where all these rants come from to some degree.
Yeah.
But still, just don't be a dickhead.
Yeah, but
I feel like
with COVID-19 safety precautions.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible, it is that franchise is Tom Cruise's baby. He's been producer on it since the jump, I think, and they're one of the few movies that are in production that have been following the new COVID safety guidelines, and they've already had to shut down once or twice a couple weeks ago. They had to shut down for, I think, a week. And with Tom Cruise, he has millions of dollars invested in this project, especially implementing all these safety protocols. And when people violate, if one case pops up on the set of that, then it spreads like wildfire and they have to shut down again. And that's going to cost millions of dollars and cost a lot of people their jobs, most likely, because with Mission Impossible, that's a huge production. There's potentially 200-300 people on set daily working.
There's a lot of jobs attached to these movie productions. A lot of people who feed their families. You know, they depend on these type of productions. And if one case happens, boom, that's it. That's all it takes, you know, for the whole thing to get shut down and for them to wait and do all this other stuff. So, you know, yeah, I mean, it's a serious thing. It's a serious situation, you know, and, you know, obviously he takes it very seriously. Also, I mean, sounds like he should be a little bit more calmer. I mean, apparently he's dating Haley Atwell. Like, that's a rumor, I guess. But if I'm dating Haley Atwell, I got no fucking problems in the world. Ain't nothing gonna stress me out. I mean, it's fucking Haley Atwell here. I'm potentially there. Like, I ain't got nothing stressing me out here.
Okay, but I mean,
he's just trying to get back home with Haley. That's probably what the issue is.
This rant to me,
she's on set.
This rant to me, it doesn't sound like this is the first time it's happened.
Yeah,
I feel like he's tried to put on the interview persona, trying to say calmly, "Excuse me, man, you mind pulling your mask up? You mind standing 6 feet apart?" And I feel like this rant was recorded after one too many of those conversations.
Yeah,
because
there's no context.
Like he called out people specifically.
There's no real. You can't really tell from that clip alone whether or not he was being a dickhead or not. But I do think that with the context of, all right, these guys are not following these very serious pandemic protocols that could get us all fucked. I do understand the frustration. And I see some people reading into it like saying, hey, Scientology bullshit, and saying that this is a part of their weird power dynamics or whatever. But nah. There's a fucking pandemic. Take it seriously. And you should be able to empathize with where he's coming from. For this one time, in this one moment.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know, absolutely, yeah. Like you said, this doesn't sound like the first time it's happening, because he called out people specifically. It's like you and you two and you two. And you 3 and you 4. I'm fucking sick of it, tired of it, going home. So it sounded like he was really pointing out people specifically that were doing this.
And he at one point in the rant said, "Look, I will listen to your fucking logic, and if I don't like it, you're fucking gone." Mm-hmm. So your reason for not wearing the mask, because I remember listening to a Nerdist interview with him a couple years ago, and he was talking about how when he's on a set, he pretty much knows everybody's jobs. He knows down to how to set up the lights, how to set up the camera, down to costuming and all of that. He knows pretty much everybody's job. So any justification for why they wouldn't be following the protocols, I feel like he has a workaround for it already.
Yeah. He's a professional. I mean, he puts a lot into it.
The man's been a movie star for 40 years.
Yeah. I mean, he's 58 years old. I mean, Jesus Christ. Wow. Almost 60. Wow. Holy crap.
Shit, if Scientology makes me look that good into my 60s, I'm in.
Yeah. The power of Xenu.
Yeah, they suck the blood of youth.
Yeah. I gotta give me some of that. If that's what it is, well, maybe Scientology ain't so bad, maybe. Maybe it's not such a bad thing.
Maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do worse. You could join Kenneth Copeland's church.
Yeah.
And look at the fucking creature from The Mask and things.
And give him all your money for nothing. he'll like put his hand on you and then you get COVID and then he'll be like
he'll blow the wind of God.
Yeah. The wind of COVID.
You.
All right, so
and you'll pay him
let's
for
get
it.
All right, so let's get into our first review. Going to discuss The Mandalorian. It's the season finale of season 2. This is what it's all culminating to from this 8 episodes. And did you like the length of this episode, Chayse? Because I know you said you wanted a nice, big, grand finale for this. Was it the proper length for you this time around? 46 minutes?
Honestly, I didn't even check the length. How long was it again?
46 minutes.
Okay, because it felt very quick, even though it was a longer episode.
It did.
But it was just because I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel
there's
like
a lot going on.
Yeah, this is one of the most action-heavy episodes, and the pacing on it is just incredible. It's just it moves so fast, but it never feels like it's rushing.
Yeah, because by the time the came to the end of the episode, I was like, "Oh, it's over already." Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, because it was moving by,
with the ending of this, it feels like it just kind of abruptly cuts off. But I have no problem with the ending, really.
I kind of get it. Especially with the moment that happens, I kind of get why it cuts there. Is well, you can go into the full summary synopsis, Josh, before we just straight up spoil everything.
Okay. Episode, they're going to go rescue Baby Yoda, Mando, Boba Fett. But first, they like I think YouTube predicted it. They were going to get Bo-Katan and the other fellow Mandalorian, Koska Reeves, who's played by the wrestler Sasha Rose. So they're going to get those the 8 Sasha Banks. I'm sorry, Sasha Banks. Sorry about that. And they were going to get her, both of them, to come and aid them in their mission to help save Baby Yoda. I don't know. I mean, I thought the standoff between when you see between when Boba Fett meeting the other Mandalorians and things like that. I thought that was a little cool. Sasha Banks. Not very strong actor. I mean, you know what I mean. I see why she got very little lines in her first appearance in her first episode. What you say?
She's better than Gina Carano, I think.
I don't know. That's a low bar. I don't know.
They're
possibly.
They're both just there to fight.
I feel like they're on the same level.
Yeah. We're not expecting Oscar-worthy lines from them. We're just expecting them to be good action set pieces.
I feel like they need to work with James Gunn or Steven Soderbergh to get a good performance out of them.
It's interesting. And then anytime you have a wrestler in anything, they have to do a wrestling move. It's contractually obligated. I don't know, but anytime you have a wrestler in anything, it's they got to do something. So it's you got to do a body slam or a suplex or something like that. So this time she did a wrestling move where she suplexed him onto a table and things like that. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, why else would you hire her?
Yeah, and also I love that little skirmish because you're not just having a straight up fight scene between two characters. You're using all of those Mandalorian weapons. They're using the jetpacks. They're using the grapple hook. They use the flamethrowers.
Yeah.
It's just a very like fun toolbox you get when you design action scenes with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it was a nice action scene. I just thought, I mean, it's just that's always a thing. Like anytime a wrestler's in anything, they always have to do some wrestling move, some thing that's like, oh, you be like they're wrestlers, and then they gotta do wrestling moves to know that they're a wrestler. It's like, I get it. I know she's a wrestler. I know.
What did you expect?
I just expected something a little like just not to be so.
You expected to do something different, basic. Like some jiu-jitsu or something. Like she's a wrestler.
I just expected not to be so basic as just to use like that. You know what I mean? Like just try not to be so basic. That's all I'm just saying.
You wanted a box next time?
Some creative. Something like some.
You can get Floyd Mayweather, but I don't know how he'd be able to read the script.
you just read it to him like they did with Chris Tucker allegedly.
Oh wow. Yeah, so that was just like a little small thing. And also seeing, I mean, Boba Fett in the Mando suit. I didn't see it at first, but I mean, I do kind of see it now a little bit. He does kind of look like the giant chicken from Family Guy. The giant chicken was Boba Fett in the Star Wars special a little bit. He looking a little,
definitely rocking that dad bod.
Yeah, he looking a little thick. But I appreciate it. He's got his Mandalorian armor. I don't know how did he buff. Yeah. Yeah, and he got that buffed out nice. Got that nice looking spit shine clean. Put some shoe polish on there. Really looking nice. Good for him. Got looking nice. Got looking pristine again. So that was just like a small thing, the fight sequence there, but they both agreed to help Mando and Boba Fett go after Baby Yoda, and especially a lot of it for Bo-Katan is the reason that Moff Gideon is there, and also he has a Darksaber, something that she wants, something that's a prized possession of Mandalore. So that's also a big reason. So them invading the ship with the characters there, I just thought a lot of that was entirely very too easy. I thought they just run through these stormtroopers like no problem, no issue. There's even a moment.
It's also stormtroopers, so that's kind of like a motif in Star Wars, how like easy it is to run through them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like this is no resistance. I mean, there's even a moment where she's reloading her weapon. And she's literally just standing there reloading a weapon, and they can't even, Gina Carano is, and they can't even fire on her right there. I'm like, Jesus, you could at least nick her in the shoulder. I mean, damn, she's reloading a weapon right in front of you, man. Come on. I mean, you gotta be kidding me here.
I mean, that would break Star Wars continuity with a stormtrooper being able to hit something. That would break continuity. It would break Star Wars.
Yeah. No, I mean, a stormtrooper hit something. In Return of the Jedi, he hit Princess Leia. A stormtrooper did. He hit her
for dramatic effect, for the sake of the story.
That could have been for the sake of the story. Hit her in the shoulder. Do something. She's reloading a weapon, man.
I feel like Gina Carano, she might have like a Vin Diesel or a Jason Statham deal, like with Fast and Furious. It's like, look, my character always has to look like a badass.
No vulnerability.
Yeah.
I feel like she might have that kind of deal.
It was. She had a kind of a good scene, I thought, before they invade the ship and they steal this other Imperial ship containing the doctor who does the experiments, who does the cloning experiments and things like that.
Yeah, the doctor who's played by discount Riz Ahmed.
Yeah, he does look a lot like Riz Ahmed a lot. I just noticed that. Yeah, he kind of does. And that was an interesting exchange between her and the Imperial officer, like, how much kind of zealots these, kind of these Empire people are, you know what I mean? Especially from like a lower level guy like that, typically. And it goes back to the episode with Bill Burr, how much passionate they are about the Empire, what gets these people, so kind of into the Empire, like what's the big selling point for them, and it kind of delves a little bit more into that, a little bit more, and the fact that of him saying like, well, hey, I lost people too. I mean, you blew up these different Death Stars with so many other millions of people that are on the base too. So that I thought that was a very nice, interesting exchange there. between her and the Imperial officer. I thought that was very good. I thought that was kind of one of a better scene from her there. But when they're invading the ship and just mowing through all these stormtroopers, and they finally Moff Gideon deploys the robots there that are these, that we've seen, before, that we were teased, that we saw clips of before in previous episodes. Now we see them fully in action. What did you think about the robots? Because I didn't think they looked all that good. I thought they looked very much like Doctor Who, much from like Doctor Who, like early Battlestar Galactica from the Sci-Fi Network.
I had fun with them.
I really dug the design of them. They're kind of like an upgraded version of the super battle droids from Attack of the Clones. Those big hulking gray ones that they could have made like actually really cool in that movie, but they didn't because it was Lucas. And I feel like this is like the natural progression of them, and especially the one fight scene he has with Mando. I was getting a lot of flashbacks to the first Terminator, and just how like that thing would not stop coming, and how none of his weapons would work until the Beskar staff.
Yeah. And I like the subtle hint that he would have to use the Beskar staff when what was droids called again? I can't even remember. The battle droid, whatever. What are those droids called? What'd you say?
Oh, Dark Troopers.
When the Dark Trooper picked up Mando and he starts punching at his helmet repeatedly, but not like leaving a scratch though. That's when I realized, wait.
For a second, I didn't notice it not having any impact until I saw behind him. It was like dents in the wall.
Yeah, like the wall was like falling apart behind him and everything. That's when I was like, oh wait, you got to pick up the staff, bro. That's the key.
Like, holy shit, Mando's getting a little derpy.
Yeah, it was crazy how much he punched him in the face, but then when he took off his helmet, it had no scars on his face at all. I expected like at least like his nose to be busted or black eye or something like that, but it was like nothing was wrong with his face.
That pure Beskar, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
It must got some good shock absorbing material in that. Beskar.
Somebody said like
that Beskar is like a G-Shock.
Somebody said Beskar armor, I guess, is just like the vibranium of Star Wars. I guess it's just this
pretty much
perfect metal. Yeah, it's just amazing. It can do everything. You know what I mean? Like, you can brush your teeth with Beskar probably, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Never get a cavity ever.
Yeah. Ever again. Somebody tries to punch you in the mouth, and they break their hand.
Got that nice full-on Quavo mouth. Just all that Beskar in the mouth. Can
you imagine a Beskar grill? That'd be intense.
Yeah, that'd go hard right there.
That's like the ultimate flexor.
Yeah. But yeah, so I wasn't too big on the design of the Dark Troopers. I think for a show that has such really, really great special effects, I thought that was kind of one of the weaker ones I've seen from Mandalorian. Like when it comes to the ships, when it comes to the planets, the aliens, designs, everything. I mean, it all looks really, really good. It actually all looks like really in the scene that you see it in. This one, I don't think so much. But I like the whole takedown of the Dark Trooper with the Beskar staff. I thought that was pretty cool. That was really nice. And then Mando has a nice one-on-one with Moff Gideon, which was a nice one-on-one. Good fight scene. Beskar versus the Darksaber. That was really well done.
Fight scene, and I just love that slow build up to the actual fight because initially it's just Gideon holding the saber over Baby Yoda. It was like, yeah, I just wanted his blood. You can take him. Like, I'm done with him.
Yeah.
But, as typical Empire, as soon as his back is turned, yeah.
So do you guys think that he knew that the Beskar would block it? Because I feel like he didn't.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe did. I mean, he is a pretty smart guy. I would assume he knows a lot about Mandalorians and about them and their culture and their people. I mean, what else you gonna do?
He wouldn't
just hack away. I guess
he wouldn't keep the darksaber without knowing what that means to Mandalorian culture, and he has an intimate knowledge of what Beskar metal can do, because I feel like the Dark Troopers were made out of that stuff. Just given how it was pretty much immune to like their blasters and pretty much all Mando's weapons, how they did nothing except the Beskar.
Well, that's an interesting point, but something happens towards the end of the episode that makes me think they're not made out of Beskar armor.
Yeah.
It's like they were.
That's true. That's very true.
So it makes me think. So we're gonna get to that in a little bit, real quick. Yeah, but very, very nice thing. Like I said, he knows intimate knowledge. Moff Gideon does of the Mandalorian, of their culture, of their people. Like, you know, the whole thing with the darksaber and the tradition of it, and the whole ritual behind it, and everything like that. The history, the lore. So it seems like he would know Beskar armor, and knows that it can't really be, you know, penetrated by just, you know, lightsabers, pretty much. So, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, you hack away. Maybe you get lucky. And not all of them is Beskar armor. He's got some vulnerable parts there, you know what I mean? So you just kind of hack away. It's like when people, like in Luke Cage, it's like firing guns, and he's like, well, you know that's not going to do nothing. He was like, well, we got to try. I mean, you know, we got to do something. I mean, you know, what do you want us to do? You know what I mean? We got a job.
Come on, man. They got to know we tried.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do something, you know, like, okay, you know. So maybe we get lucky, yeah. Maybe we fire a bullet up your ass. I don't know. Maybe we get lucky. Something could happen. So, I mean, that's kind of just my reason behind why he did it. And the whole, you know, like I said, then he finally defeats Moff Gideon, brings him to Bo-Katan. And there's a specific reason why Bo-Katan wanted to bring him in herself. And as we learn that the whole story of the Darksaber and the lore behind it is the person has to win it in trial by combat, and that's the only way you can get the Darksaber. You can get it no other way.
The saber.
Yeah. You know, you can't yield. The other person can't yield. They can't just sacrifice it. You got to win it in a trial by combat.
And I like that they had those moments, because those were kind of going through my head the second that they mentioned, the saber has to be won in trial by combat. And I like how tense that scene is throughout, because you can see Bo-Katan just running it in her head. Oh shit, am I gonna have to kill Mando?
Yeah. So that's something interesting to see next season. See what we're gonna see, and how that situation develops.
No,
it's like every single leap of every single logical thing you could say is like, all right, why didn't he just give her the saber? All right, if you just give it, then she's a false leader. Okay, I yield. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Now I do wonder what they'll do, because, you know, the show is called The Mandalorian, and although he's a foundling, you know, he still follows the it's a cult, but still follows the code in the culture, and associates himself with Mandalorians. So I do wonder if he himself is gonna have to go back to Mandalore and be the guy. Maybe he's not a ruler or anything, because he's obviously not suited to rule, but maybe because he has the Darksaber now, he might make an effort to take back Mandalore for her. So,
and
I think all that will be interesting.
And let's not pretend that someone becoming a reluctant leader isn't already a trope in Star Wars.
True. Yeah.
I mean, do you think with Bo-Katan, I mean, like, being a person who, when they first met Mando, she criticized him for his strict beliefs in like like she said, the people that he follows and he listens to are very much a religious cult. Do you think it was a little bit like, you know, her following these really strict, rigid rules of how to get the Darksaber was kind of hypocritical in the way that she talked to him about these rules of like, hey, I don't take off my helmet, I don't do this, like, that's not the true Mandalorian way. Like, do you think that kind of conflicted what she said in previous episodes about criticizing him?
I mean, with the criticism of him, a lot of that was because that was a extremist cult sect of Mandalore. With the Darksaber, that's like deeply rooted in their culture. It's like even the like main people believe in that. It's like how all sections of Christianity essentially believe in the Ten Commandments.
Yeah, I like to think of the Mandalorians as like space Spartans, and they have and because they're warrior people regardless.
Right.
They have their extremists, like, you know, the cult that Mando is a part of, but you know, they to the core they are warriors. So I'm not surprised that the reason why the Darksaber is so important is because it has to be won by a warrior. You know, I feel like that's the only way you really bring up a warrior culture together is by somebody who could truly fight.
and like even Gideon says in one line is like, it's not the saber that brings the power, it's the story behind it.
Yeah, I love that line.
And I'm glad that it didn't get to a trial by combat, because we all know how Pedro Pascal did in his last trial by combat.
Oof, don't remind me. He won that. He just had to stop talking. He won that. It frustrates me every time I think about Oberyn. He literally had that in the bag and folded and got
He was
squashed.
one of the best characters in the show too.
Yeah, easily. Within 8 episodes.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. And then you have to deal with his terrible daughters. But
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. But anyway, moving on from that disappointing thing they did with the Sand Snakes and the whole storyline there. But and Game of Thrones and the fact that George R. R. Martin still has not finished those books. Even in the quarantine, he has still not finished those books. he ain't never gonna finish them books, boy. But yeah, so I thought that was very a good scene with Bo-Katan and Mandalorian and with Moff Gideon about just the whole history of this saber. So it set up some conflict in season 3, build up that a little bit more. And the big thing about this episode, thing we're coming to, obviously, you know, if you've seen it, Luke Skywalker, he comes in, and when I saw the black outfit, the green saber, I was like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. No. Maybe it's Ahsoka Tano. Maybe she did something, and maybe she switched up lightsabers. Maybe don't do this. No. Don't do that. And
I thought it was gonna be. I thought they were going to fake it out to make it seem like it was gonna be Luke, but it couldn't be Luke. Like obviously, there's not enough CGI in the world for it to be Luke.
Yeah. And yeah, it turns out it was him. And he obviously just stepped off of the set of Polar Express. Takes off the hood. I don't think they still got it right. Still very dead-eyed.
I mean, I think it was an odd choice to go with CG Luke Skywalker, especially considering that Sebastian Stan is on Disney's payroll.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, yeah.
Disney show.
He's too big to be Luke though. Like muscle.
Cover him up in them robes.
Yeah. I mean, because like, and he's actually done cosplay for Luke Skywalker, and he actually does look a lot like a young Mark Hamill. Side by side pictures.
Himself has like called out Sebastian Stan. It's like, son.
Yeah, I mean, he looks. I mean, there's people have done side by side things. They do look a lot alike. You know, very very similar. Yeah. So you could have just put him as there.
I think the voice was okay. I gave them a pass on the face. Like, I was too hyped by the fact that they even had the balls to do it, to bring Luke in, because from a story standpoint, I feel like Luke is the one that has the most. It makes the most story sense for Luke to be the one to teach Grogu or Baby Yoda. You know?
Yes. At this point in canon, he is the most powerful Jedi, and even if the CG face wonkiness aside, that is God damn it, that is the Luke from the Legends canon. That is the Jedi Master Luke.
Yeah. That's the Luke that we wanted to see in Last Jedi.
Yeah. I know. I mean, we've seen them do this type of technology before in Star Wars properties. We see them did it in Rise of Skywalker in a brief scene where you saw like a young Leia, young Luke.
True, but
we saw them do it
in Rise of Skywalker. I feel like it worked better. Also, with at least with Princess Leia's character, they had Billie Lourd, her daughter, do the actual physical performance for her. So I feel like it would be easier to map Carrie Fisher's face on there. With this, I don't know how they did it, and it looks like the face is just floating outside the body.
Yeah, because when he was talking, it's like he just had such a dead-eyed stare that he wasn't even looking at Mandalorian. Really, it was like he was looking just out in space. You know what I mean? So it was kind of weird looking sometimes, but so they done it in Rise of Skywalker. They did it in Rogue One with Tarkin.
I will say this: it works better here than it did with Tarkin in Rogue One, because it's on for so much less time.
Yeah. He's not a central character. I think that's
because when Tarkin first came in Rogue One and you saw him, because it was like you saw his back, it was in darkness, so it's like, hey, that actually looks pretty good, like that doesn't actually look too bad around. And then he started going and then he starts going on and on and on, and it's like, no thank you, you know what I mean, like, but when it was a little bit of him there, it actually looked kind of good, but it just kept going. And so aside from the, just kind of the face, aside from Luke Skywalker, it was like you said, it was Luke Skywalker from the Legends canon. Just him being this all-powerful person, completely just decimating all the Dark Troopers, so that's what makes me think it wasn't Beskar armor, because he wouldn't be able to do that so easily with his lightsaber.
I don't think it was pure Beskar armor.
Oh, it was the Beskar armor they ordered from Wish.
I mean, Beskar is limited. There's a limited supply of it, so they have to pick and choose where they use it. I feel like it's diluted enough to handle most blasters that most infantry would carry.
That makes sense. It's not pure.
This is the Empire. This is a galactic military, so they're gonna buy stuff on the cheap.
Yeah, they got that spiked Beskar.
Yeah, obviously they get their stormtrooper armor from the Lego division or some shit like that. They get their shit from goddamn Wayfair or something like that. IKEA ass armor they got. Maybe it's like this rip off Beskar armor that is not the top quality. Like you said, it is limited, it is rare. So that could be a good reason. But that was cool seeing him pop up, use his abilities, the Force, all that stuff. For a slight second, I thought maybe it could have been the character from Jedi Fallen Order. Maybe I was like, maybe it could be him. That'd be a nice kind of surprise.
But then I saw a color image of the lightsaber color, so it was either gonna be Luke or it was gonna be Ezra Bridger from Rebels.
And I feel like with the way, the second they started the whole reveal, I knew if he was going to be hooded, it couldn't be Ezra. Because they want us to be shocked by who we see.
Yeah, and
the average person isn't going to be shocked, unfortunately, by who, if it was Ezra.
Really?
They'd be like, oh, it's Ezra.
Also, Ezra never really wore a hood.
Yeah.
Also, there's rumors.
No, but I'm talking about people who haven't watched the cartoons, because I'm just now getting into the cartoons.
Okay.
And so I'm really not that familiar with him. So if I had seen a aged up actor play him, I probably would have been like, "Who's that man?" Until he said his name.
Raul from Blind Manor just jumped in and played Ezra.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that was Ezra. That could have been a nice little kind of fake out, probably it be him, or but just like you say, he's not known for, he doesn't wear hoods, so that could have been the thing. And you got to have something for Ahsoka Tano to do in her series. That's probably one of her big things in her series is going to be finding Ezra, finding Admiral Thrawn, and things like that. It's going to be one of the big things for her series.
Maybe eventually running into Luke and seeing Grogu's training from there on.
Man, I just wish that they could retcon the new trilogy already, because now that Grogu is with Luke, it's kind of setting up like, hey, is Kylo gonna kill Grogu? Yeah, is he dead in the new trilogy? I don't want that. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Baby Yoda found a way out. He found his way out last time. Maybe he didn't.
True. Yeah. He does have a way of sneaking out of Order 66's.
He doesn't have anything calling him saying, "Look, man, you were always nice to me. Don't come to the temple tomorrow."
Yeah. Maybe he got Kylo to do the same for him.
And it was an emotional moment, seeing Mandalorian say goodbye to Baby Yoda. That was a very emotional moment. He took off his helmet, looked into his eyes, for the first time, with his, just seeing his face. I thought that was a very sweet moment. I thought. And I thought it was a little overkill bringing in R2-D2. I thought that was a little overkill.
Yeah, I feel like the moment...
I thought the Luke thing was
already
overkill.
Without bringing in R2. I feel like that was just...
like there was...
all right.
You gotta sell them toys, man.
That was overkill, man. Come on, man. Like, come on. You really gonna bring in, like, R2? I mean, come on. Like, that's a little overkill.
You gotta sell them toys.
But, so I thought that was a very nice emotional moment, and then him just it's just like he has to get your permission to leave. That's what he's waiting on. So I thought that was very sweet. And when it came to the final credits, so if they have a nice little stinger. So Boba Fett finally gets his revenge. He gets his redemption.
Wait, they had a stinger?
Back. Yeah, there was a stinger. Yeah.
Dead ass? Yo, Nick, was there a stinger? He's not joking.
Hey, Jon Favreau's running this show. He gonna put the post-credit stinger.
Yo, I totally missed that. What was it?
Yep.
Okay, so in this post-credit stinger, it's Boba Fett going back to Jabba's palace, and wouldn't you know it, somebody's I can't remember the character's name, but that guy's taken over the palace and he's running shit now.
Yeah.
And it ends with Fennec Shand and Boba Fett just killing everyone in the temple, and Boba sitting on Jabba's throne.
Yeah, with Ming-Na Wen by his side. Yeah. So and then the final thing was the Book of Boba Fett. So they're gonna do a spin-off series called the Book of Boba Fett, where he's kind of being a gangster and kind of running things. And the character Nick is talking about is Bib Fortuna. He was the dude with like the large tentacle like that was wrapped around his neck that was from his head and shit like that. Like, so that's that character. And he put on a lot of weight since we last saw him. He been eating, that's for sure.
Eating good.
Yeah. Hey, it's easy to eat good when Jabba's not around.
Yeah. So that was like the big stinger at the end and everything like that. So I'm excited to see more of Ming-Na Wen just in Star Wars. Her character I think is really good, and she's also another like person who's aging like wine out here. 57 years old. I mean, wow. I mean, yeah. I don't think she's part of the Church of Scientology. I don't think.
No, just good genes.
Good genes, yeah. Just good genes. Maybe eating babies, drinking their blood. I don't know, something. But yeah, she's looking great. So I'm excited to see them do a series about that gangster type stuff like that, Boba Fett. And
sounds
he's
like
not. Yeah, he's not. I mean, his moral code is. I mean, there's some room for some gray area, so you could see some more kind of things that maybe Pedro Pascal's Mandalorian we won't see him do that maybe Boba Fett will do maybe. So that'd be interesting to see. So So overall thoughts on the episode. Like, what did you think about this finale?
10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10.
I loved it.
Wow.
I loved it a lot. Yeah. Star Wars is back, baby.
9.5 out of 10. I agree with you. It's especially after the third episode, this season's kind of knocking it out of the park. And a great redemptive episode for Peyton Reed. I really liked his direction in this one. And I like potential hints of where they're going for season 3 if the Book of Boba Fett is not the third season of Mandalorian. Because even though it feels like his story's done, there's still a lot he can do within this universe. There's like potential of him having a rivalry with Bo-Katan, of them going to reclaim Mandalore. There's a lot that can happen.
Yeah.
So you think that Pedro Pascal's Mandalorian, you think they're saying that he's done and they're going to focus on a new Mandalorian in Boba Fett, in the Book of Boba Fett? Like, they're just going to move on from him and just focus.
That was my initial impression seeing the post-credit stinger. Because story-wise, it kind of makes sense. Cause this series has been about Din Djarin and his relationship with Baby Yoda.
Right. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what they do. See if they continue it with the Pedro Pascal character. To see where new directions they can take him without Baby Yoda, if they can. But to give my rating for it, I give it a 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. Disappointed by the look of the Dark Troopers. I thought the invasion scene was well shot, good action scenes. Just no real threat there because of the way they've treated the stormtroopers throughout the entirety of this series, the entirety of this franchise. So it's no real threat. They're just mowing through them. Didn't like the Luke Skywalker reveal. Thought that I was just like, I just think this is supposed to be kind of Mandalorian. It's supposed to be really its own thing and kind of not really so much heavily relying on big other characters from the main trilogy. Like bringing in Ahsoka Tano, I was like, well, this is the first live action appearance of her, and she's a character from the cartoon, and so that was something different. But I don't think it's the same as bringing in Luke Skywalker. And then they bring in R2-D2, and it's just like, oh man, I mean, that's like, here we go again, with all this other stuff and that moment. But there's some. I love the face-off between Mando and Moff Gideon. Thought that was very good. Thought that was very well done. Love the possible setup of what you're gonna do with Bo-Katan and the Darksaber, like that continuing. So, and this thing with a gangster type series, criminal, seedy underworld, that type of stuff with Boba Fett, Ming-Na Wen. I'm excited to see that. So, yeah. So for me, 7.5 out of 10. All right. So,
you're gonna get this video a ton of dislikes.
I mean, yeah, I just wasn't as hyped about it as the last season finale. I don't think. I mean, there were some good things I liked about it, but like I said, I thought. Yeah, I just don't think. I mean, there were some good moments, but I just don't think it was all overall all that strong. So impressions for season 3.
I mean, if they just announced that this is the finale for Din Djarin's Mandalorian, then I'd be okay with it. I feel like his story, it's kind of wrapped up.
I can see them pulling him into Bo-Katan's Mandalore, taking back Mandalore's story.
I feel like they go
now that he has the Darksaber.
Also, Pedro Pascal's back is hurting from carrying Star Wars.
And now, I mean, well, so with the whole thing with him taking off his helmet, I do think that is significant, not just because he is acknowledging Baby Yoda, but he also, he let Luke see his face too. So I think...
Yeah, he let Luke, he let Cara Dune, he let everybody in that room see his face.
Yeah, so I think I think he's gonna join the more what do I call him? Like the regular Mandalorian path, and he might be the guy in the next couple of seasons that helps Bo-Katan take back Mandalore. That's where I think they're going with this. Just judging by the title of the show being The Mandalorian, I feel like he's gonna rise to be the epitome of what the Mandalorian is supposed to be. And I think that if they do a Boba Fett like centered story, it'll probably be its own spinoff. I wouldn't put it past the Mouse to make a shit ton of spinoffs based off of all the characters that they've introduced in and out of this show.
Well, also they are doing
even Bo-Katan. She's like critical of Boba because he's not a quote unquote real Mandalorian, and like that little tie to Clone Wars, like, yeah, dude, I've heard your voice thousands of times. Just tying back to Clone Wars, because I sometimes forget that Tamir Morrison is the template for the clones, and Boba Fett would have the exact same voice as like characters like Captain Rex or Fives and Echo.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, they're doing a Rangers of the Republic, so probably, I mean, Cara Dune is probably going to be in that, more than likely. She's going to probably have a big role in that, probably. You have, of course, the Ahsoka Tano spinoff. You're going to have the Kenobi series. I wonder if, that's going to intersect with the Ahsoka Tano series, if they're going to do that. So, I mean, they got 10 new Star Wars TV shows planned. They're just printing Star Wars shit. I mean, and it's what people kind of did with people criticized them for doing before when they were doing the movies. It was like, okay, we're gonna do a Star Wars movie every year. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? You're gonna do one every year? Like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just this big reaction of like, this huge plans of doing all these different trilogies, and then everybody was getting a Star Wars trilogy. David, the dude from Game of Thrones, they were getting a Star Wars trilogy, and they
until the
Ryan Johnson
Game of Thrones came out.
Yeah. And you get a trilogy. And you get a trilogy. Just handing out Star Wars.
Everybody was getting a Star Wars trilogy. I was getting a fucking Star Wars trilogy. Everybody was getting a Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, it was like everybody was getting one.
Yeah, I was getting
what have your trilogy been about?
What have my trilogy been about?
Yeah.
I think I would have mainly focused on what they were trying to do probably with the Rangers of the New Republic, trying to build up like the after return and the kind of that in between period, and trying to fix the system, the corruption, the crime, and that elements of there. Probably something like that.
I would just adapted Knights of the Old Republic.
Not enough Skywalkers.
True, but
I see why they didn't make it. I see why they didn't pick your trilogies.
Hey, Darth Revan is
not enough
such a better
Skywalkers.
character than Skywalker.
Yeah. I would have had a black character in it that wouldn't have been screaming a white woman's name.
You see, that's why you didn't get it either.
Yeah,
not enough Skywalkers, not enough Palpatines, and not enough black men simping.
Yeah, not enough him screaming. Yeah. I mean, even though Daisy Ridley is perfectly fine to simp for, perfectly fine, perfectly reasonable woman to simp for. Very, very, just man, that was so much wasted talent, and so much wasted talent. But I'm excited to see the future of the series, see where they go, see what they do. The next Star Wars show that's coming out is Mandalorian season 3 coming out first next year, or it's coming out?
Probably not.
I think they're both.
I thought that's
that and Book of Boba. I think they're like both supposed to come out next year, 2021, December.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, because they're filming season 3 right now. I think they said season 3 of Mandalorian is supposed to come out in December, right? December next year, if I remember that correctly. So that's what I heard. So, and then the Book of Boba Fett, yeah. So you say, Nick, that they're supposed to be coming out with that next year as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the tease at the very end. It was like Boba sitting on the throne, then it cuts to black, then they announced the Book of Boba Fett, December 2021.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Okay, December 2021. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that part. Yeah, okay. So December 2021. Okay. So they'll probably do that. The Kenobi series, is that coming out the year after that, like 2022 Kenobi?
Shit.
Possibly. Oh, okay. Yeah, so something, it's coming out. It's coming out. All that Star Wars. You'll get it. You'll know. You'll know, people. So yeah. But yeah, it's been nice talking about this weekly, for sure. The next big one we're probably going to talk about weekly is the WandaVision series. That's probably going to talk about that weekly. There's probably going to be a lot to talk about that every episode. That's probably going to drive a lot of conversation. So how many episodes is that show?
That's going to be 6 episodes.
6 episodes. Okay, so that's not bad. Wow. And the budget on that show, $150 million. Wow. Just saw that. That is, that's impressive. That's probably going to be the next show we talk about People Weekly. All right, so moving on from discussing The Mandalorian, we're going to discuss Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. This is the film. This is the final live-action performance of Chadwick Boseman. It is currently on Netflix right now. You can check it out. It also stars Viola Davis. This is a film that is directed by, let me pull up this, George C. Wolfe. And I will say that this is, I think, one of the better movies I've seen this year. This is also based on the play of the same name by August Wilson. And the performances alone, I think, really elevate the material to being one of the best movies I've seen this year, especially coming from Chadwick Boseman, coming from Viola Davis, who just knock it out of the park. And I really mean that. I don't think I'm adding more onto it because Chadwick Boseman has passed away. I think that this is probably the best I've ever seen him in any role. It's the most range he's ever had. I was talking to Chayse about it before the show started, and it was like just the range of stuff he does in this movie, from being the charming Chadwick Boseman that we've seen him to the serious Chadwick Boseman to just like this heartbroken guy in the
Chadwick Boseman.
Is just, just the different range of emotions he goes through is definitely the most I've seen in any film he's ever done. Which was just like, wow. I mean, this guy's got real talent here. Viola Davis, who plays Ma Rainey, great performance, commanding performance anytime she's on screen. Just and the presence she has. I mean, just not only just physically, but just absolute, just with her presence and just her emotion, commanding just everyone around her in her life, because that woman does not fuck around. I mean, that woman she wants what she wants when she wants it, and nobody's gonna tell her different. I mean, she's ordering white men around like in 20s like it's just nothing. What I mean? I'm like, damn, this is impressive.
She's telling the police to shut the fuck up.
Even the police are scared of her. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, don't you know we could kill you and get away with it? And it's like,
Not me.
I was like so tense. I was like, oh shit, is this? Like,
but
is this gonna turn? And goddamn, because Viola Davis is amazing in this.
Yeah, and I just love the sort of the power dynamics that she has personally, because not to get too much into spoiler territory, but she kind of reveals her hand to some other characters, or I think it's actually just one other character.
Yeah,
and in this very emotional and very just amazing monologue, and she basically is just like, hey, like, I only have power because of my voice, and I gotta use it to get what I want when I want it, how I want it, before they take it.
Yeah.
So.
And Ma Rainey, real life figure, in music, dubbed the mother of the blues, very, very, influential singer when it came to blues music, back then in the 20s and very much is carried over into modern jazz, modern blues today. Yeah. Very, very influential figure. So if you want to, check her out, if you're a blues person, that type of person, I would recommend checking her out. And I don't know if it's Viola Davis doing the singing in this movie. Do you know that, Nick, at all? If it's Viola Davis doing the singing?
I don't think it's Viola Davis doing the singing in this.
Okay. But I love the music of it. Very, very nice. Very well done. It being based on the play, and feels kind of small scale in a sense. So don't know if that would be a turnoff for some people, because it only takes place in maybe a few locations. It takes place mainly in a recording studio where they're trying to record. It doesn't really take place any other place other than a recording studio. So it's very small scale in that sense. Don't know if that would be maybe something people wouldn't be into that much. Chayse, what did you think about it?
I liked it a lot. I'd compare it to if you like Fences, then I think you'd love this.
And the original play is written by the same writer, August Wilson.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now it's all kind of making sense, because Denzel's kind of doing this thing, because he produced it, if I'm not mistaken, right? He produced this.
Did,
yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So it seems like he's kind of just adapting a lot of different plays to movies, which is interesting. Because
he signed you could tell. 10-picture deal with HBO. So he's doing a lot of adaptations, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, because the budget is mainly spent on making it look amazing, on making the setting look realistic to the 20s. The costume designing is great. I think the camera work is pretty fine. It's kind of just there to give all the actors their time to really act, and I think there's a lot of I loved it. I think there's a lot of great performances here. I don't think there's one bad one, in my opinion. I mean, even the kid that stutters, I felt his emotion come through. So I felt like I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make some changes to my top 10 of the year just on this movie alone. And just all the performances all around, especially from some of the smaller characters in this, like Coleman Domingo, who I just saw in Euphoria as the character Ali, who's like Zendaya's sponsor in NA. He's amazing in this.
And there's a lot of like veteran, legendary black actors in this. You got Glenn Thurman in this. People might remember he was in Different World. He played the Army Colonel in that. He was also in The Wire. We played the Baltimore mayor in that, Clarence Royce. You also have Michael Potts, who's also in The Wire. He played brother Muzane. He was in that. He was also in True Detective Season 1. He was the detective that was interviewing Matthew McConaughey's character. He was also very, very good in that. So you got a lot of veteran black actors in this that are very, very good in this. To see them pop up, that also round out the cast, who round out the rest of the band. And it's also go ahead.
I was just gonna say very quickly, it is short. Like, so if you are not if you're not typically into like the more smaller indie films where there's a lot of dialogue, might give this one a chance, because it's an hour and 30 minutes.
It's only an hour and 34 minutes. So very, very good watch, quick watch. And at the monologues, I don't think they ever come off as hammy. They never come off as showy. It's not something like Hillbilly Elegy, you know what I mean, where it's like, okay, here's the moments where these characters are going to act, and you're gonna see them acting, and it's gonna be triumphant, it's gonna be amazing. It's like, here there's just so much emotion behind it. Like I said, Chadwick Boseman's monologue is really great, especially seeing the reaction of all the other actors around him. I think is great to watch in that scene. And Yeah, I mean, it's one of the better movies I've seen this year. In this kind of weird year, and I would love to see it get nominated, especially Viola Davis, Chadwick Boseman, possibly for their performances. I think they would deserve it. For it. I mean, it's very, very, very good film. Very loved it quite a bit. Ratings?
I think I could give this a 9, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think of why I wouldn't give it a 10. But there's just nothing really there for me to pick at it. But for now, I'm gonna say a 9. On second viewing, when we do our top 10 movies of the year, I might go back to it and be like, hey guys, this is a 10. But for now, I'm gonna just say a 9.
Okay.
I feel like I'm on the same page as you, Chayse. This is definitely 9 out of 10. This is one of the rarest stage to screen adaptations. It doesn't miss a beat. This is just outside of the performances, it's talking so much about how media and the music industry, how it appropriates Black culture, and even down to literally having the final scene a white band play Ma Rainey's songs.
Yeah.
And just,
which was so gross.
I felt gross watching that, and especially like Chadwick Boseman, his character's whole arc in this film, and like seeing those him and Viola Davis, seeing like their different personalities clash is so entertaining to watch. All the monologues in this are incredible. There's so much range and emotion done by everybody. And if Chadwick Boseman doesn't get an Oscar for this, then burn the Academy down. This is 9 out of 10.
Yeah, and to touch back with how they deal with race here, I think it's really amazing that, I mean, yeah, you do kind of have the sort of evil white businessman, but he's not the center focus of the story. It's kind of just how they're dealing with the society of racism as a whole, that I find very interesting. You get all their different perspectives on it and their philosophies on it. I love that.
That's a great point. Yeah, very, very good.
Because they all have very drastically different points of views and how to deal with it.
That is a very good point. Forgot to bring that up. Yeah, very, very good point. For me, I would give it about the same. 9 out of 10. Very, very strong film. Very strong performances. The setting, the costume design, the music is very good. Quick watch as well. Only an hour and a half. I don't think overstay its welcome. It's not 2.5 hours. It's not something that just kind of it uses its time. It uses it well. It uses it very, very well. For me, 9 out of 10. Very, very strong film. Great film. So, all right. So moving on from discussing that, we're going to discuss The Sound of Metal, starring Riz Ahmed, which is the story of a drummer of a metal band who is progressively going deaf. And when you hear the music they play, you go like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense, of course. Because the movie opens, with them playing like this small venue. He's banging on these drums as loud as he can. The woman is singing as loud as she can. It's like, yeah. And it's like, yeah, and he wakes up and goes like, wow, I can't really hear. It's like, yeah, duh. Yeah, no shit, guy. Yeah. But Riz Ahmed, if people don't know, I first saw him in The Night Of, which was a really great HBO miniseries. If nobody's ever checked that out, I recommend it. Very, very good miniseries. So if you've never seen that, really, really check it out. It really shows. Don't judge his entire performance by him being in Venom.
Yeah, everybody was taking an L in Venom.
Yeah, so don't judge him for being in Venom. I mean, everybody's got to eat. Everybody's got to get a check. He's a very good actor.
They mentioned, this is a Marvel movie produced by Sony.
Yeah. So I in this performance, I think he does a very good job, being this guy. You see him on his journey of, realizing that, he is losing his hearing, and he's a guy that, he likes simple things in life, and one of those things is playing music, and him not being able to do that, it's just killing him, especially somebody who is also a recovering, drug addict. This thing, kind of gave his life meaning, is playing music. It kind of gave his life purpose, especially doing it with his girlfriend, who's played by Olivia Cook, who's also very good in this as well. Nick, what were your general impressions watching it?
Well, there are two ways to really approach this movie. Just as an actor's piece and a character study with Riz Ahmed's Ruben, and how much of this is like not dealing with cliches, because any other movie would have had him relapse right after finding out he's deaf and having like the girlfriend Lou be an enabler, but goddamn, Lou might be the MVP of movie girlfriends in this, because she recognizes, like, yeah, he's going down this path, and she gets him help right away. It's quick before he goes into this little community of the hearing impaired. And one of my favorite things about this is that all the characters around him are communicating by sign language. And until he learns it, you don't see any subtitles.
Yeah, that how they introduce him going deaf was very interesting too. Because the music starts off with very much just incorporating music right away. You get introduced to the band immediately. Which, by the way, I don't know about you guys, but I watched this after I watched Rainey, and I had the volume at the same exact level. So to jump from just the chill blues to like just straight heavy metal, that was intense. But I enjoyed it. So with this character, you get to see how integral music is to his life. And then when it gets stripped away and you get to hear from his perspective, it's scary.
Yeah, and
like one of my biggest fears is going deaf.
Yeah, and he has one of the most heartbreaking breakdowns I've ever seen in a movie, because if you've been online and followed like film Twitter or film Instagram, you've seen this clip of him breaking down, and that scene is really emotional, especially like the goodbye with Olivia Cook's Lou.
Yeah. Well, that's a spoiler.
I mean,
there's nothing. There's nothing in this movie that you can't story-wise. In my mind, with this movie, story isn't really the most important part of this movie. It's watching Riz Ahmed as this character, and watching his progression from losing his hearing to finding a community where he's accepted, where he's loved, and like his struggle with deciding to go back to his old life or to stay. Him going to the community and him meeting, especially his mentor, who is an actor I've never seen before. Paul Rachi is he's listed. He plays Joe, who's kind of like his guy that is guiding him through this experience of being deaf and what that's like, and what his new life is going to be, which is very, very, I think, a very good performance as well. To see him be a part of this community, first having this resistance, and then learning the acceptance, especially connecting with the children as well that are there in this community that go to the school, and he has a good moment with a kid where he's on a slide, on a park slide, and they're communicating kind of something he can relate to, which is making a beat, like that communication of sound, you know what I mean, from being a drummer and making that connection. And I think that was very special. I thought that was a very good moment.
And he thinks he's so much fighting this, and like I think anybody would, if somebody tells you like, hey, your hearing is deteriorating rapidly, you know what I mean, like and once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, you can't get it back. And he's like, what if I can get like one of those things that you can install in your ear? What if I can do that? And he's like, yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, but those things are super expensive, and insurance doesn't cover it. So that's kind of going to be tough. And to see, when it finally happens, when he finally does, do something like that, or tries to do something like that, that experience for him and what that's like, is, I thought, very, very good as well. And very, just to see the, Riz Ahmed kind of perform and act his way, throughout different emotional beats in this movie is very impressive, and very good.
Yeah, just with the last two movies we talked about, with this and Ma Rainey, the Oscars just got a whole lot more interesting this year.
Yeah.
Well, did this release in theaters, or was it only on Prime?
I hope they gave it like a limited theatrical run so it'd be eligible, but even I feel like they should probably waive the theatrical rule, because it's a goddamn pandemic. You can't expect everybody to be able to go to a theater.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very well done. Riz Ahmed. Chayse, what were your overall thoughts? Watching it and just seeing all the different performances.
It was the same thing I had with Ma Rainey, where I have to go back to this before I really give a final score on it. But I'm leaning towards like a 9. But I don't really have too many. Like, I don't have any nitpicks for it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like really wrong with the movie. It's just a lot of great performances, and just to see the characters struggle with trying to get whether or not to give up something that he loves. I thought that was very close to home. That hits. Yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting Oscar season. I don't know who I'm leaning towards.
Are they still doing the Oscars, or they still doing
probably?
They're
still doing the Grammys.
Movies were still coming out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah. Well, Grammys, I mean, that's just music, though. You can listen to music at home. You know what I mean? That's just music.
I don't think the Academy Awards give a fuck about pandemics. I think they just they gotta do their thing and make their money.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, they're doing April 25, 2021. Yeah, I see it right here. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, they're still going through with it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Here's some. They're doing like predictions possibly for best pictures. You want to hear some of the predictions?
Sure.
Trial of the Chicago 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Mank.
That's Oscar baity. Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
One Night in Miami.
All right.
The Father. I've never heard of that. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Judas and the Black Messiah. The story of Fred Hampton.
Hard to say without having seen it, but all right.
Yeah. The Tom Hanks film News of the World.
Yeah.
I think in that character there's like a deaf girl in that character as well. I think I've seen trailers for it, but yeah. Promising Young Woman, which is a film I saw trailers for. I'm very interested to check out.
Me as well. I feel like that would be interesting.
Yeah. Sound of Metal is also like a next line contender. They say possibility. So yeah, there's a huge list here. This is via Variety. But just to wrap up our review here, final scores.
9.
9 as well.
Guess we're on agreement today. 9. I think it's a very strong film. I can't think of anything I really had an issue with per se. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of something. I don't know. Olivia Cook having blonde eyebrows, that freaked me out. I don't like people with blonde eyebrows.
I mean, if nothing else, if nothing else, this is making me consider going bleach blonde once I get out of the military.
No, those eyebrows by themselves make it a 9 instead of a 10.
That was kind of freaky. I don't know, that's kind of weird. So I'll knock off a point for that. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was, it's hard to say. I mean, everything was so strong. It's just 10 is like so perfect, like 10, but it's very, very good film. I highly recommend people checking it out. Amazon Prime. Very, very good film.
I feel like with 10s, you have to go back to them multiple times. And if you still feel the same way you felt about it the original time you watched it, and there's no new nitpicks or gripes or anything, then that's a 10.
Yeah, I feel like I like save 10s for movies I revisit a lot. Like for me, Knives Out is a 10. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is a 10.
Yeah, I gotta really sit with this and Ma Rainey before I can give it a 10. So maybe at the end of the year, when we do that whole top movies, we'll readjust our scores.
All right, people. Hope you enjoyed the show. Talked about some good topics. Talked about The Mandalorian. Talked about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Sound of Metal. Tom Cruise going crazy. We talked about Cyberpunk.
Well, Tom Cruise going crazy.
Trash. Yeah, crazier. He's already crazier. Smash Bros. Sephiroth. We reviewed some good movies today. Really enjoyed watching them. Glad I saw them.
Yeah, it's a rare week for us, but it's kind of like all really great stuff this week.
Next week, we're going to be doing Wonder Woman. That's coming out Christmas Day, 25th. We're going to be reviewing Soul. That's also coming out. We're also going to be doing Lupin. You guys want to do Lupin the Third as well?
Lupin the Third. Yes. Sure. I'm down.
Okay.
Well, when does Lupin come out?
Lupin's already out.
Oh, it is? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's already out. Yep, so we're going to be Lupin the Third. We're going to be reviewing that Friday. So when we do shows Friday, we're going to be uploading the Wednesday following that Friday. Is that fair to say, Chase? Like uploading the content Wednesday following?
At the latest Wednesday. By earliest Monday.
Okay, earliest Monday. So make sure to check out Monday, Wednesdays when we upload shows. Hey, if you want to also check us out on our social medias, we're on Instagram, The Afternoon Tune, Twitter, The Afternoon Tune. We're on Facebook at The Afternoon Tune. If you want to check us out, send us an email. We're at theafternoontune@gmail.com. If you want to send, of course, check us out on YouTube at The Afternoon Tune. Leave comments, concerns, all that good stuff. Like, what to do, like, subscribe, all that stuff. You know what all the dribble I'm going to say, all that good fun stuff. Chase, where the people can find you?
You can find me at Mr. Chayse Mac at Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Mr. spelled MRCHAYSEMAC. Where can they find you, Nick?
All right, look me up, Facebook, Nick Taylor, or Twitter and Instagram at Night and Day Nick. That's a NIGHT, letter NDAY, Nick.
You get bold, then them to find you on Facebook.
Yeah. All right, people. Hey, we're also on Twitch as well. Forgot to mention that at Twitch, The Afternoon Tune. Hopefully, we get to start streaming soon. Doing shows, doing some live shows. Get those good emotes going. Do all that good fun stuff. Hopefully you'll simp for us. Give us those bits. All that good stuff. So to all you people out there, we hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed listening, and don't forget to always stay tuned.